Then he concentrates on doing a new big map. So getting onto things like Lone Oak, like Oakfield Farm, like Sandy Bay, they're released right at the end of the life cycle of the farm sim game these days. So we wouldn't be getting Sandy Bay till sometime this year. Farm Sim 25 is going to be out in a year. So do you really want to wait 2 years before an old map comes about? And then there's my dude. And then only get a couple of months to play on it. So in a way I can understand his decision. Why waste time doing a thing when, to be frank, people aren't going to get much opportunity to play it, and so you might as well take the time to work on something new. So potentially he's working on his next project could very well be a map that he won't release for Farm Sim 22. It'll be Farm Sim 25 before he gets it all completed. Because I know we had previews of Calmsden Farm. We had previews. And I think some people did a Farm Sim 19 review of it, but it never got released to the general public. Okay, you're doing your thing. Merge is doing its thing. Oh, I'm missing some bits on the outside there. I think I didn't get the overlap quite right, but that's fine. Going the wrong way. That way. Don't need that on. Oh, could do with the engine on. Engine on is good. I'll get that unfolded. So yeah, for the rest of at least now, I have some baling to do. Actually, I think for the rest of right now, I have some maintenance to do. I think we'll do the full thing. How's Diesel on this? Diesel's fine, so I'll just run this into the shed and do the fixie thing. Okay, it's not that weight. That must be the one on the Deutz. That needs a fix. That 807. Crazy. And that will be the weight on the front of this one. So okay, now that everything's back up to 100%, it's given the merge little time to run ahead of us. Yeah, and I understand that. I mean, one of the things I'm looking at now, you've got, what was it? City Skylines 2 came out, and I do not have a PC that can run that. And obviously there are risks going forward that Farm Sim 25 is going to be similarly demanding of your hardware, or at least somewhat demanding of your hardware. My hardware is Farm Sim 17 age. I upgraded this. I replaced the PC I was using at that time because I couldn't play Lawfolds without a lot of graphical issues because of all the stuff that was hidden in the sheds. And so, we got new PCs. Mrs. Osa got a new PC. We'd ended up getting a little bit of money for some reason, so we decided to use it. We've never had a brand new PC. It's always been it's a PC that's capabilities are 3-4 years old. It was cutting edge technology, 3 or 4 years old, and it'll do to run most of the sorts of games that I play and she plays. So it wasn't a big deal, but we decided, hey, let's get something brand new that's kind of capable and it will actually last us a few years. So we've had these since 2018. So what's that, 5-year-old? And the problem now is obviously, technology's gone on far enough that I need a new motherboard if I want RAM upgrades, processor upgrades, graphics card upgrades. So we're kind of in a situation where the only option would be to get a new PC. But I am looking at potentially for Farm Sim 25. I may need a new graphics card. I may need at least more memory, possibly not necessarily a new processor, but it's enough to look at and say, it's that time. So we'll see where it all goes from there. But I may get something next spring to summer. I think I'm okay now for winter. I don't plan on getting a copy of City Skylines right this minute. It's the type of game I kind of like playing, but I don't have enough time to devote to it. And it's the sort of a game where I'll play it, I'll get to a certain point, and then I'm not going to touch the game for like 6 months because something else has come up and I don't have time to do anything. And so when I get back to it, it's like, I honestly don't know what I was doing. So I'll start a new game. So it never gets finished. If I've got time to play a game, I'll usually play Farm Sim, and this is the only Farm Sim game save I've got running at the moment. Not paying attention to the bales. And failing that, I'll play games that you can just pick it up, play, and put it down. So something like World of Warships is a good game for me. I can play a battle and be done, and it's not an issue that I don't remember what I did last time. It's like, was it Subnautica? Yeah, I bought Subnautica. I started Subnautica on my old PC, and it was okay until I got to the fire-breathing dragon in the lava pits towards the end of the game, and my PC absolutely could not cope with the graphical load, and so I had to give up on that game, and it wasn't for quite a few months until I got a new PC, this PC, by which point I'd forgotten where I'd got, and the options were, well, I can start a new game, but life's kind of busy at the moment, so I don't have the time I used to get back into it. And I've started a couple of attempts at Subnautica, but really I've never progressed very far before real life's got in the way, and I forget what I'm doing. I forget what I found. I forget too much, and I could start again, but that is a big pile of grass, because we are filling this. This is why I'm wondering, should I get a square one and just use this for the round bale contract, the silage contract. But yeah, there's lots of games. Like, I used to play a lot of MMOs, but really I don't have the time. And with MMOs, because it's multiplayer, if you get involved in a group, you can end up having commitments to that group, which, I'm sorry, real life doesn't give me the opportunity to participate. Plus, they eventually get boring, because it's quite literally go and kill some pixels, going to kill 10 clusters of pixels until, collect a thing, give it to a person, get a reward. Go and kill another 10, different arrangement of pixels, and it's just sort of, I'm just playing errand boy, fetch a thing. And there's, you get an expansion. There's 10 new levels and a whole new set of dungeons. And if you want to proceed very far, you need to do this special set of dungeons every day for 60 days. And with all the characters that you have, and it's just like, this is the 6th time I've gone through this iteration. I really don't feel like it, but thank you. Something like Truck Simulator is kind of good for me, because I can be building up a truck empire. But really all it is it's me driving my truck between point A and point B. And if I've got, we're not doing anything for 2 hours. I could sit down for an hour and drive a truck for an hour and just run a couple of missions, and I'm happy. And there's no story. There's no what's the word for it? There's no continuity that you're trying to maintain. I'm driving a truck from A to B, I'm delivering a thing, and tomorrow I'll be delivering a different thing, and tomorrow could be 6 months away. And I'm meandering all over this field. So the other thought I do have is potentially dropping that merge and possibly getting the kern, because it allows merge to center and to the side. So if I'm doing everything completely what's the word for it? Unmonitored, I can make bigger rows so that when I take over the baling, I don't have to make quite so many passes down the field. Although with this baler I do, because it doesn't have a very good width. But the kern merge does give you the opportunity. Are you done? Oh, you are done. to merge to centre, which means you can put a worker on follow and you can drive that yourself. I just don't. I'd need another small tractor to run that, which is kind of good. This tractor's kind of okay with all the work that we're doing around the farm. Although I did note it does struggle at times with hills while baling. Okay. Because that baler's, well, I mean, we've got the power, it's just climbing hills and baling at the same time. Not quite sufficient power. If it's on the flat, we're fine. As we're demonstrating here. Saving content, good. Generate field course, yes, 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 and okay. And off it goes. Okay, back to the baling thing. So you can see the issue I'm having here is this, the row is just too wide for this baler to cope with. So I end up having to do every row twice anyway, so why not get a normal windrower, or at least one that can drop to middle so that we get a narrow row. It's where you're kind of merging one row to another that comes the difficulty. Also, I'm thinking we may end up getting something like a big M, so that merges, or that rows its own output. So at that point, I don't need a big giant rower, except when you're making hay. I don't make hay for my farm, I'm only making hay for contracts. Oops, let's stop there. And I think it was yesterday's episode, Virtual Farmer was saying he doesn't like doing hay contracts because they really don't pay as much as silage contracts when you factor in the residual value of the excess bales. These bales really aren't worth a lot. I think 28 bales is worth about 10,000, and they're 6,500 each. So actually 11,000, I think. It was yesterday. So but silage bales are worth about 4 times that, and you get the same amount of residuals. So, you know, doing a silage contract, the contract pays pretty much the same as the hay contract, but the residual of the excess is 4 times the amount. So you earn money much faster doing silage contracts, but I'm doing hay contracts because they happen to be closest to the farm. And I don't want to limit myself. But I think, maybe getting a square baler would be a plan. We can keep this round baler just for silage contracts. We've got a collection wagon for our own silage. Loading wagon, whatever you want to call it. So I'm happy, I'm fine just mowing and collecting conditioned grass when we're making stuff for our own farm. Shucks. And then maybe having a square baler to do the hay. I've noted that the square balers tend to have a wider pickup than round balers for some reason. And but the square balers make bigger bales, so we would be able to ship these out a lot quicker. I think you're talking about, well, I'm limited to medium-sized round bales, but I think you can get 9,000 litre square hay bales if you've got an adjustable size baler. And that may be a good plan for us. And as I said, just keep this one around to do the silage contracts. And the advantage with that is if I get a big M for mowing, I'll be able to, the big M will row its own grass. So we can do a follow me on that. And this tractor and baler are perfectly sufficient. Okay. For the big giant row. How's our class doing? It is 2 minutes from completion and probably needs a service. So I will divert that via the store and get it serviced there, and then we'll send it up to plough the last field while we're manually baling the last of these 2 fields. And I can hitch the mower back on the Valtra and send it up to field 7 and get that cut. Because I don't need to TED that field because it's a silage contract. Which is makes things quicker. I am going to need a quick break, so as soon as I get to the end of this bit and the baler unloads, we'll turn around there, let it drop, and this guy is nearly done. Okay, I'm going to take a very quick break. I'll be back shortly.